Stephen Shields Radio Show.
Back to the Stephen Shields Radio Show today. I hope you're all well. I do want to say something, and I want to say a thank you to this lady. Yesterday, when I was driving the car, hopefully this is okay. I don't want any crackling going on. So please let me know if you hear any crackling. I'm using currently wired headphones, gaming headsets. So I do apologize if you hear any crackling. I'll try not to move around too much. I do want to say thank you to this lady yesterday, as she was able to point out to me that one of my rear tires was starting to go flat. I didn't even notice. Yeah, so I was driving, and yeah, she just said, your tire's starting to go flat. So I really want to say thank you for that, because I was able to go to the mechanic, and you know what a funny story was? Ended up running over a nail. God, don't you hate that? You're driving your car on the road and you've run over a nail. God, that sucks, doesn't it? It sucks for everyone, but it's all good. It's all good, all well and good. All right. So yeah, if you're listening to this episode, yeah, thank you, honestly, because after I went through, the lights ended up pulling on the side of the road, and I could feel that the tire was starting to go flat. So I thought, look, I'll make a trip to my mechanic. And yeah, that's when he found it, pumped up the tires with at least 35 PSI. So probably I'm not pumping my tires up enough. I think I was only putting 32, but 35 PSI is the best. Well, depending on the car you're driving, of course. So that was, really, really thankful for that as well. Really thankful. But moving forward, okay, about in today's episode of how Donald Trump has basically become president and is looking forward to pretty much get down to business straight away. I guess Donald Trump is the president for the tough times that are ahead. Again, illegal immigration was a problem. If like I said, the current state of what Joe Biden had left the United States of America. And basically, illegal immigrants were ending up getting just free accommodation, free healthcare, free government handouts, just freebies. And it's quite sad because there's a lot of bad people out there that take advantage of them and use them for slavery and slave labor, because it's quite it's quite, it was happening in Australia as well under the Rudd government, where what they would call was boat people that were crossing the border illegally. It's quite sad. People smuggling going on, sex trafficking going on out there. This is all illegal, by the way, so it needs to stop. Because you think about it like this: the left get all upset because they think you're a racist. They think that you're a racist bastard for commenting on this stuff. Let me tell you something. When you go travel to a country, all right, overseas, you don't go in there illegally. You have a passport, a visa, or whatever it is, and you have a reason to be there. Yeah, these immigrants are coming in, and they were just literally just crossing into the United States, and it was quite a problem. But the Democrats and the Labor deny it. They always want to deny it to suit them. So now we've seen it the hard way. Not everyone likes Donald Trump in the Republican Party. As I've grown older, I've gotten to realize and understand that there is, probably one of the most toughest president out there to withstand all the bullshit from the mass media and the left-wing media population that have attacked his family. Okay. So it's hopefully these next 4 years for the Trump administration is going to be good. Okay, because I do believe that the change needed to happen for a reason. Okay. Obviously, the border crisis was quite a huge issue. There was a failed assassination attempt of Donald Trump that happened. Okay. So this is. I don't know how Kevin Rudd's relationship to the United States is going to be at this stage, because I'm certainly questioning Kevin Rudd's position. Okay, as Australia's US ambassador, and what he's going to do. I've got nothing against Kevin Rudd. But look at it like this. Does Kevin Rudd have the interest at heart for the Australian population? I'm going to let you answer that as well. Now, what came up in the media this week about this cowardly man, Jordan Finianganifo's crime spree before stabbing Stephen Tuffer, quote Daily Telegraph. This coward was running around with a knife, okay, 23 years old. Now, quote, Jordan James Finianganofo, 23, approached paramedic Stephen Tuffer in the Campbelltown car park shortly after 5 a.m. on April 14th last year, quote Daily Telegraph. Basically, the paramedic was just eating food on his break, and this coward ends up taking a man's life, a paramedic's life. I've got no sympathy for these people who want to go around and slashing people's cars and stalking people. And good on the police, okay, for tasering him. And because apparently he's suffering mental health conditions, which is that's an excuse. But quote, on Friday, Justice David Davies determined the killing had been proven, but Finian-Ganafo was not criminally responsible by reason of mental illness, quote, Daily Telegraph. I certainly disagree with that. That's just a cowardly act to do. And the family of this paramedic has to live with this for the rest of their lives because of a corrupt justice system that determines that he's mentally ill. He should be, honestly, in jail. Just locked up forever, because something like that, to me, is just to use mental illness as an excuse to do that. Nah, that's not on. That's just being a coward. And I had to bring that up because obviously our paramedics put up with a lot every time they go on a shift. That I don't understand. I really just don't understand the justice system in Australia at times. I'm not happy with that at all. And I thought I needed to bring that up because this stuff, I was just, quite shocked about it. It's like you remember Senior Constable Christian White when he tasered the elderly woman in the one of the was it the Cooma aged care home, if I'm right. At the Yallambee Lodge Nursing Home in Cooma in southern New South Wales, used a taser. Now, you look at it like this: what's going on with our justice system? Okay. Now, this man, I'd say he's probably lost his job. He's had some complaints against him in the police force. But again, he's walking away, walking free. All right, so as for now, this is just what I'm not happy about in the justice system these days. In Australia, it seems to me that it's favouring criminals more than ever. Okay. So that's what I'm not very happy about when you read stuff like this. All right. It's like Dr. Phil was talking on Merritt Street Media about, when they were defunding the police, especially in New York City. Who can people call when their lives are in danger? And when you dial 911, that's over there. Are they going to come and help people on time when there's been a lot of problems in the police force? I mean, good on Dr. Phil for speaking up with these issues that needed to be addressed, because at least he tells you the truth. Now, that's America, of course. We're in Australia, but we put our trust in our emergency services. And I'm sort of a bit emotional about this when this stuff's going on. But that's just the justice system for you. That really is the justice system. Obviously, I've come to the conclusion where sooner or later, things basically need to change. Of course, okay. Kids being taught about climate change in schools and all these solar panels and carbon emissions and net zero. This stuff just never ends. Gender equality in schools. Al Gore as well, scaring people with climate change, and I don't know, man, bear, pig, or whatever it is. Wonder if there is such thing as a man, bear, pig. So the left, during the last 4 years of Biden's presidency before Kamala Harris took over, I can remember when looking back in March 2020, when this pandemic just all of a sudden came and all the media was just constantly attacking Donald Trump every single day, 24/7, 7 days a week. You just got fed up with it. Okay. Never in my life did I, when you watch the news, we're just bombarding us 24/7. You didn't even want to watch it back then. I truly believe that COVID-19 will be one of the most remembered pandemic in history to come. I guess it has prepared us for the next pandemic. I believe that the healthcare system's learnt a lot from this, especially for healthcare workers to have the hospitals to have an emergency supply of masks and gloves and PPE. I mean, what can I say? It's just been tough, especially economically. It's been very very tough as well. Very tough though. But things get better eventually, and we've got to move on. So Ray Hadley as well is announcing his retirement from Talkback Radio. I think he'll still be commentating the footy on Channel 9. A long time he's been in the broadcasting business or industry, as it's called. So that's a long career. And then you had Alan Jones as well, who had quite a long career with 2GB. So I feel that people now have started to understand a bit more about what China's doing with their electric cars and electric vehicles as well. And China, like the the app called, you guys have heard it, Temu, the shopping app called Temu, Chinese app, but I feel that a lot of these shopping apps that are so dirt cheap are too good to be true. And there's something else, something that I don't like with Temu. Okay, Chinese company for one. The Australian, when you're doing, okay, I know I get it. People want to start saving money between Amazon and all that, but I'm gonna be honest. I wouldn't trust Temu. I've noticed when you see their promotional stuff, they're using things to get you hooked on it, so they can get people buying things cheaply. But certainly, I raise my suspicions because they're not just they're using cheap labor to data harvest people's personal information. I mean, sadly, a lot of the companies are doing that. I mean, so again, if electric vehicles are spying on us, and then don't buy the electric vehicle if it's spying on you and sending stuff back to China about what's going on. So hopefully, I mean, the Australian government does start to regulate the electric vehicle industry coming from China. There's nothing wrong with things being made in America, of course, as Donald Trump wanted things to be made in America. Make America great again. Because a lot of what's going on in China at Apple, they're just cheap labor. Their working conditions are terrible. They're just slaves over there, and unfortunately, we rely on technology that is made in China. Okay. I mean, speaking about coronavirus, there's a new COVID XEC variant strain in Australia at the moment. The strain was detected in at least 29 different countries. Okay. What is XEC? XEC is a recombinant emerging from earlier Omicron subvariants KS 1.1 and KP 3.3. Quote Daily Telegraph. Yeah. So again, a lot of all the symptoms are like pretty much the same: high temperature, fever, aches, tiredness, cough, sore throat, shortness of breath, fatigue, blocked nose. I noticed with my second when I caught COVID the second time, I just felt like I had sinuses were just clogged up, nose, and just felt slightly tired. The first one was the worst. The second one was just just felt like all my sinuses. I couldn't breathe out my nose or anything. Yeah, I don't know, man. I certainly have a bit of questions as to how this virus originated from China and was able to spread to the whole world. Like I said, it's quite possible someone leaked it. Someone mucked around with it in the laboratory and let it go on purpose, accidentally on purpose, and that's what caused a pandemic. But I guess it's history. It's going to be around. It's pretty much treat it just like another cold or flu. So that's what we do in Australia. I wanted to talk a bit about dating apps too. If anyone's using dating apps. Now, in my experience with dating apps, I've had no success with them. I just feel that they're out there for your money. I get sick and tired of people comparing profiles and you've got to word things a certain way on your profile, and I just got fed up with it. And the mental health strain it's caused for me with dating apps. Again, technology, it's tracking you as well. And that's Yeah, I really just get fed up with it. All right. So that's the issues I have at the moment. Okay. It's like I will always keep talking about the aged care homes that have gone to shit. Honestly, in New South Wales, all across Australia, the My Aged Care, the NDIS. I just get sick and tired of providers not doing their jobs, overcharging people, over price gouging pillows and all that. And yeah, it's just getting to a point where people just getting taken advantage of, especially elderly people with disabilities as well, because these bastards who think that they can go around and making people pay for items that they don't even need, happy hour drinks that are non-aged care items, non-essential NDIS items. You see all the complaints and the reports that have been made in the financial year about providers out there, NDIS provider, dodgy NDIS provider, dodgy speech therapists as well. I had a problem with a speech therapist too, and it was like, I just get fed up when they just want to start not being in it for you, only being in it for themselves so they can just grab people's money. All right. I mean, that to me is just slack. Okay. Clearly, the scheme needs to have a lot of improvements. And they need to be helping people with disabilities and aged care people like it was set out to do. Yeah. Well, and I'll like I said, I'll keep reporting on these topics because they need to be talked about. You know, it's not like people think that they can overprice pillows and all this stuff. I mean, this has just got to end. This is just getting ridiculous, honestly. It really is getting ridiculous. Like, you can buy a lot of these items at the aged care are price gouged. You can buy them much cheaper at Bunnings, but because they see that it's got aged care on it, they think that they can price gouge everything. So again, broken system that has happened today. Now, there's whooping cough going around in New South Wales and Queensland. At least 45,000 whooping cough cases expected by the end of the year. That's quite bad. That's going around as well. So it's funny that when you get a lot of these pandemics, flus, there's always something new straining with the flu. Yeah. So all you can do is just listen to your GP's advice, because that's yeah, that's all we can do. Yes. Speaking of the Hillsong Church, okay, like, I get very angry and very pissed off when a lot of these big churches take advantage of people financially in order for them to say that they need salvation. They need to tithe 10% to the church. Okay, and meaning Brian Houston's living the nice, luxurious, millionaire lifestyle, flying first class all around the world. Okay. Preaching, all right. Telling people to follow Jesus. And yet, at the end of the day, the guy's just after your money. This is what I don't like. Scientology's the same problem. All after your money. Seventh-day Adventist Church, they just want your money. All want you to tithe your 10%. Now, I've spoken about Seventh-day Adventist churches, Jehovah's Witnesses. It's the same thing. All want 10%. All want to say, oh, you need to tithe your 10%. You got to go to church on whatever day, the Sabbath day. And I just get fed up with this control, honestly, guys. It's just, I've had enough. Each to their own opinion, of course. But this is what's going on. Profiting out of people financially, taking advantage of people. I'm over it. You can see why I get very angry about this stuff. All right, because it's sort of like they use these fear, psychological, and intimidation tactics in order to scare people. I know the Catholic Church was the same problem. You've got to come to church on Sunday, give money to the church. Yet I've had churches, I've had run-ins with some church pastors out there. So you got to think, well, if, say, Hillsong, like the Daily Telegraph did an investigation into Hillsong about how they exploit their volunteers with slave labor and forcing them to literally work for free, taking advantage of their time, Brian Houston, and denying it. And these people say, oh, they have the salvation through Jesus Christ. I just think that's just what you've done. You've exploited people. That's what you've done. And getting people to sign non-disclosure agreements, trying to blackmail people when there's a crime that's happened, using fear, intimidation tactics. Yeah, that's the problem that we have. So, I don't know what the future's going to be. I know I've got my own spiritual practice. Okay. And that's how I see it. But on a positive, well, as you know, I like to talk cricket. Congratulations to Pakistan for beating the Australian team in the ODI. Pakistan, since having Jason Gillespie, I've definitely seen a huge difference in how they play cricket. Just the way they batted, they bowled, they just dominated the Aussies, and they showed that. I think it was like 23 years since they last won in Australia. And honestly, they deserved it. They worked hard for it. Jason Gillespie played for Australia. When you're working with him, you know, he's the man to, I believe, that will help the side succeed in the future. But man, that just you could see the hunger and the drive in them to win. You could just see it, like the way they attacked, they played their shots. They just had great discipline. It was discipline, good bowling attack, great batting as well. So they got the Aussies. Now the press is saying that the Australians did this on purpose or stirring up trouble. They didn't. Pakistan have just improved a lot, and good on them. Really good on them for that. Okay. Yeah, cricket. Cricket will always be a changing game. Australia, how many years have they dominated cricket? God, for years. But they deserved it. Pakistan, and yeah, they got a good win out of it. And good on them. You remember in the last Grand Prix in Formula One, Max Verstappen ended up taking at least grid penalties. All right. It's just amazing when you win a race starting from the back of the pack and you finish in the top 10. Now, this is what I like about Formula One, about teammate drivers. When the team orders come in for the drivers, and they say that, just say for instance, Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen, right? Say Sergio Perez is leading, but Max Verstappen is starting to gain more positions. The team orders Perez to let Max Verstappen overtake. Now, just because you guys are teammates, you guys are still competitors of each other. I think for a while the Formula One got rid of that rule change. It was something to do with constructors' points or whatever. It just gets really complicated. Because this is a car race, and it just, I mean, drivers are just going to get to the point where they're just not even going to bother listening, and they just want to go and win. The problem is if like Daniel Ricciardo, which was quite slack for he honestly, in my opinion, they should have let Daniel Ricciardo finish the season off. Like at least retire at the last Grand Prix, not getting rid of him in Singapore. I mean, he busted his backside off to remain at a high elite level of car racing. So, yeah, that's the issue Formula One has, where people just want, I don't know, I just don't like this whole team orders stuff, because it's I just don't like it at all. Anyway, there's a problem with the public housing system in New South Wales. Wait lists are so long. And there's apparently empty houses available that are unoccupied. So put it like this: is the current Chris Minns government doing anything to fix this stuff? Because not everyone can afford to rent privately. All right, so or they're having to get into shared accommodation, or their wages can't afford the rent because rent is so expensive now because of inflation. Um, yeah, the current Christmas government has to fix this stuff up. Honestly, okay, they really have to fix it up. So that's why it starts to worry me in the future, because where are people going to go? So yeah, there needs to definitely be more help out there than what there is. I feel people are just not getting enough help as they're promised. Yeah, that's just not good at all, isn't it? Not good at all. Australia, honestly, I'm questioning. I am questioning Australia's future of our economy. All right, because yeah, I'm just fed up with it. Really, really fed up with it. All right, the weather right now is 18 degrees Celsius, mostly cloudy. Okay. Okay. Air quality is moderate. Air quality, yeah, is acceptable. However, for some pollutants, there may be a moderate health concern for a very small number of people who are unusually sensitive to air pollution, primarily pollutant PM 2.5 particulate matter less than 2.5 microns. All pollutants PM 2.5 particulate matter. Carbon monoxide is good. Nitrogen dioxide is good. Ozone is good. Particulate matter less than 10 microns is good. Sulfur dioxide is good as well. Yes, it's nice, when you have that good air quality and you're not getting like runny nose and all that shit. You get like that grass, allergies and shit, and runny nose, and especially when, yeah, God, I hate that. Tree pollen, no, there's none tonight. Grass pollen is high. Ragweed pollen, there's none. That's good. Yeah, so all you can do is, oopsie, this guy, yeah, humidity levels right now is 89%. Visibility is 9.66 kilometers an hour. Wind at 5 kilometers an hour. Dew point 17%. UV index 0 of 11. Moon phase is the waxing gibbous moon phase. Yeah, it's quite interesting about grass pollen and shit, because God, I hate it when there's so much pollen in the air. Makes you sneeze, and then you got to get Dymista allergy spray, or runny nose. Take an antihistamine here, antihistamine there. Yeah, especially when when we had remember when we had it was the 2019-2020 bushfire season. The air quality was fucking horrible, especially, and it gets yeah, that's why it's important that we have fresh oxygen and good air quality. Yeah, that's all we can do. Apparently, we've got a bit of a mosquito plague at the moment. Supermarkets are worried about people panic buying fly spray and insect repellent. A bit more people were panic buying toilet paper and fighting over toilet paper, and it would just literally sell out of toilet paper. And now, because of this mosquito plague going on, it's like every time I go outside, I've got to put insect repellent on. Some customers are complaining they just can't get any fly spray or empty shelves. There was some empty shelves at Moorebank because literally sold out. So I think Liverpool Council have had to spray to get rid of mosquitoes. So well, at least they're trying to get rid of the mosquitoes. I'm not going to get rid of mosquitoes permanently, but at least they're trying to stop it, of course. So there's always a lot to talk about. Again, potholes on the road. There's still problems with this stuff as well. And the state government's not doing anything to fix them up, which is quite slack because they just don't care. You know how dangerous they are? There's a big pothole around Lakemba Street in Belmore. So the problem is, it just gets half the time when they so-called patch these potholes up, it's just a lazy, half-assed done job. And damaging the rims of the tyres as well. Council don't care about it, nor does the government, actually. And they can literally burst your tyres, these potholes. Okay. No one's doing anything about it. All right. This is what starts to frustrate me a lot, guys. Okay, it really frustrates me. But no, look, I'm going to leave it there for tonight on tonight's episode of the Stephen Shields radio show. As always, a lot to talk about society and culture as well. Standing up for freedom of speech, standing up for free speech, of course. We need to keep our free speech going. Yeah, because free speech is important. So, guys, take care. I'm going to leave it there and have a good night.